So my chapter was week 10, chapter 8. I chose to solve radical equations. So there's 4 steps. I'll write them. So the first one is to isolate the radical. Second, raise each side of the equation to the power of the index of the radical. So the power of the index of the radical is just like whatever the radical is. So because if it's just like the square root, it's just 2. If you have the cubed root, you'll cube each side. That's just what that means. The third step is going to be if 1 and 2, like if there is still a radical on one of the sides after you do these 2 things, to repeat steps 1 and 2 until there are no more radicals. So if if it doesn't contain a radical, you are going to solve the equation. And the 4th step is check your answers. It's not how you spell check. It's probably the most important one. Just kidding. So now I'm going to do some examples. So the first example I'm going to do is going to be the square root of 3x minus 2, and then it's going to be equal to 4. So I have a radical on one side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to square it. By doing that, I'm eliminating the radical. So now I'm going to be left with 3x minus 2 is equal to 4 squared. Sorry, wrote that wrong. Simplify that, 3x minus 2 is equal to 16. We're gonna add 2 to each side. So we're trying to get the x value. So I'm gonna isolate that next. So by doing that, that eliminates this, and then I'm gonna add 2 here. So I get 3x is equal to 18. To get x by itself further, I'm going to divide. So I'm gonna divide by 3x. So x is equal to 6. That's my answer, but what is the fourth one? I need to check my answer. So I'm gonna plug this into the original equation. So if I do 3 times 6 minus 2 is equal to 4. So I'm gonna do everything under here first. So 3 times 6 is 18. So I'm gonna have the square root of 18 minus 2 is equal to 4. And then I'm going to simplify that further by 18 minus 2 is 16. So I have 16, the square root of 16 is equal to 4. And the square root of 16 is 4. So 4 equals 4. That is the right answer. So now I'm going to show you one where there is a wrong answer. So I am going to have -3 and the square root of x plus 2 is equal to 9. So I am going to divide. So this is, you do the opposite on each side, as we know. So I'm going to divide by -3, and then I'm going to divide by -3. So I'm going to have the square root, the square root of x plus 2 is equal to -3. And now I'm going to square each side. I will be left with x plus 2 is equal to -3 squared is going to be 9. Now I'm going to minus 2 on each side, so x is equal to 7, but I need to check that answer. If I plug this in let me just double check. So yeah, I get -3, 7 plus 2 is equal to 9. So 7 plus 2 is 9. So -3 square root of 9 is equal to 9. Square root of 9 is 3, but -3 times 3 is -9. So that doesn't work. That is not an answer. Now I'm going to do a little bit more of a complex one. Okay, so I have the square root of 3p minus 18 minus 8 is equal to 10. So to get the radical alone, I'm going to add 8, and then it's going to be the square root of 3p minus 18, which is equal to 18. Now I'm going to square each side. So I isolated the radical. Now raise each side to the equation, raise each side of the equation to the index of the radical. The index of a square root is 2, as we've gone over, but just reiterating. Now it's 2 squared, so now I'm left with 3p minus 18 is equal to 324. Now I'm going to add 18 on each side. So 3p is equal to 342. I'm going to divide by 3. P is going to equal 114. But I still need to plug that in. So I have 3 times 114, minus 18 minus 8 is equal to 10. Oops, sorry. 10. So 3 times 114 is 342 minus 18, all under the square root, minus 8 is equal to 10. And then I have, this is going to equal 324. The square root of 324 minus 8 is equal to 10. If you plug this into your calculator, it will give you 18. So the square root of 324 is 18 minus 8 is equal to 10. 18 minus 8 is 10 is equal to 10. So we have the right answer. Beautiful. And, okay. This one is a fun one. So this will be my last example. I have this square root of 9 plus x is equal to x plus 3. So I am going to I'm going to square it. So now I have 9 plus x is equal to, if I do, this is the best way to do it. You're going to FOIL this. So I'm going to get x squared plus 3x plus 3x plus 9. I'm going to simplify that to equal 9 plus x is equal to x squared plus 6x plus 9. Now, because I'm going to factor this essentially. So now what I want to do is I want this whole thing equal to 0. So I'm going to minus 9. Well, not factor, but I am going to get this needs to equal 0. And then I'm going to minus an x as well. So by minusing 9, I get rid of both of those. Minusing x, 0 is equal to x squared plus 5x. Now that I've gotten the x's on one side, now I can factor out an x. So 0 is equal to x plus 5. This is going to give us two answers. So x is equal to 0, And then x is going to equal, 0 is going to equal x plus 5, but we have to get that alone. So we have 0 is equal to x plus 5, and then I minus 5. So x is equal to also negative 5. So only one of these answers is correct. Sometimes both of them are correct, but I want to plug each of them in. So if I plug in negative 5, I get the square root of 9 plus a negative 5 is equal to, negative 5 plus 3. So negative 5 plus 3 is going to be negative 2. And then under here, I am going to get 4. Well, wait a second. Yeah, I was right. So I get the square root of 4 is equal to negative 2. But the square root of 4 is 2 equals negative 2. That's wrong. So negative 5 is not our answer. So now I'm going to plug in 0. So the square root of, in this scenario, it's just going to be 9, because 9 plus 0 is 9, is going to equal to 0 plus 3, which is 3. And then the square root of 9 is 3 is equal to 3. So there is our answer. Our answer is 0. That is why it is so important to check your answers, because if you don't get the right result and you plug it back in, then there is no solution. So that is the chapter that I did, and I hope that this helped you.